What's up, guys? Hope everyone's great. So Israel, Hamas. Who's right? Is the attack or the retaliation of Israel justified? I personally believe yes. I stand with Israel. And if you want to blame anybody for anything that's happening, that is Hamas. So I didn't want to make a video about this, but I don't know. For some reason, I just felt the need to. So I'm gonna keep it up for a little bit. I'm gonna say my things. If anybody wants to join, they could join. So what do I think? Well, the attack, the October 7th attack, was a horrific event. Literally, they went and slaughtered whoever they saw. Didn't matter what nation they were from. Didn't matter what religion they believed. They just killed everyone who they found. We have the nation supporting Hamas. When Hamas killed over 20 to 30 Americans in their attack on October 7th, yet the Americans are supporting Hamas, who killed their fellow countrymen, which is so sad, actually. That's the brainwashing of the media, of Islam. It's much deeper, the deception going on, especially in the media, in places like YouTube or TikTok. They're trying to convert the whole world into it for Islam any way they can. And we know that they are allowed to lie from their deceptive God, who is the best deceivers, as he says. And we know the deceiver is the devil. We know that they can use takia, which is lying, to bring you to Islam. All they want is you to get in. Once you're in, that's it. We have the LGBT, whatever you want to call them, community supporting Hamas, who actually kills LGBTQ, whatever they're called. Just give me a minute.
Erken dat de islam een geweldige ideologie is die haat en terreur met zich meebrengt en dus niet bij Nederland hoort. 2. Sluit onze grenzen onmiddellijk voor asielzoekers en immigranten uit islamitische landen. Zeg Schengen op en voer weer eigen grenscontroles in. 3. Begin met het ontmantelen van de instituties van de islam, zoals moskeeën. En begin bijvoorbeeld met het sluiten van al die moskeeën die buitenlandse financiering krijgen. En waar bijvoorbeeld Diyanet, het Turkse ministerie van Godsdienstzaken, de baas is. En niet wij. 4. Sluit iedereen op die met geweld dreigt of geweld gebruikt of zet ze ons land uit. En pak die honderden aanhangers en die duizenden sympathisanten van de jihadistische beweging in Nederland, als het moet, preventief op. En 5, voorzitter, vraag alle scholen, kranten, media om een Mohammed-cartoon te tonen. Niet om te provoceren, maar om te laten zien dat wij nooit wijken voor bedreigingen en geweld en dat wij trots en fier achter onze vrijheid staan. Voorzitter, tenslotte heb ik nog een boodschap aan al die moslims in Nederland die onze vrijheid, onze democratie en onze kernwaarden niet respecteren. Die de regels van de Koran belangrijker vinden dan onze seculiere wetten. En dat zijn er veel. 700.000 blijkt uit het onderzoek van professor Koopmans. En mijn boodschap aan hen is: wegwezen. Vertrek naar een islamitisch land. Dan kunt u genieten van islamitische regels. Dat zijn hun regels, maar niet de onze. Dit is ons land. Niet uw land, maar ons land.
Islam and freedom, Islam and democracy are incompatible indeed. Without saying that all Muslims are bad people, we would want to stop the immigration and the import of more people from Islamic countries. We will do that the same day.
People are waking up. This patriotic revolution where people want to find their own identity and are not racist at all, but want to fight for the preservation of their own people, their own country, their own values, their own money, their own border.
You are no Europeans, and you will never be. An Islamic state like Turkey does not belong to Europe. All the values Europe stands for, freedom, democracy, human rights, are incompatible with Islam.
From breaking news, detailed analysis, in-depth interviews and explainers, follow the Times of India. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like our videos and hit the bell icon to stay updated with the latest.
So, sorry about that, but as you see from the video, Holland politicians are rising up against Islam right now. We know that Polish politicians did the same. And that's what we're going to see, because if I know something from experience in Europe, when one nation goes and does something, the rest follow. And I see a rise of fascism in Europe. And Italy right now is a fascist country without trying to show it right now. But trust me, the one leading right now is a fascist. And if this guy wins his party, Holland will have a fascist government. And you'll see this popping up all around Europe, and we're going to start having nations against nations and kingdom against kingdoms. I'm going to play this again one more time to see what he says, because you'll be seeing this a lot more often right now.
Erken dat de islam een geweldige ideologie is die haat en terreur met zich meebrengt en dus niet bij Nederland hoort. 2. Sluit onze grenzen onmiddellijk voor asielzoekers en immigranten uit islamitische landen. Zeg Schengen op en voer weer eigen grenscontroles in. 3. Begin met het ontmantelen van de instituties van de islam, zoals moskeeën. En begin bijvoorbeeld met het sluiten van al die moskeeën die buitenlandse financiering krijgen. En waar bijvoorbeeld Diyanet, het Turkse ministerie van Godsdienstzaken, de baas is. En niet wij. 4. Sluit iedereen op die met geweld dreigt of geweld gebruikt of zet ze ons land uit. En pak die honderden aanhangers en die duizenden sympathisanten van de jihadistische beweging in Nederland, als het moet, preventief op. En 5, voorzitter, vraag alle scholen, kranten, media om een Mohammed-cartoon te tonen. Niet om te provoceren, maar om te laten zien dat wij nooit wijken voor bedreigingen en geweld en dat wij trots en fier achter onze vrijheid staan. Voorzitter, tenslotte heb ik nog een boodschap aan al die moslims in Nederland die onze vrijheid, onze democratie en onze kernwaarden niet respecteren. Die de regels van de Koran belangrijker vinden dan onze seculiere wetten. En dat zijn er veel. 700.000 blijkt uit het onderzoek van professor Koopmans. En mijn boodschap aan hen is: wegwezen. Vertrek naar een islamitisch land. Dan kunt u genieten van islamitische regels. Dat zijn hun regels, maar niet de onze. Dit is ons land. Niet uw land, maar ons land.
Islam and freedom, Islam and democracy are incompatible. Indeed, without saying that all Muslims are bad people, we would want to stop the immigration and the import of more people from Islamic countries. We will do that the same day. People are waking up. This patriotic revolution where people want to find their own identity and are not racist all, but want to fight for the preservation of their own people, their own country, their own values, their own money, their own border. You are no Europeans, and you will never be. An Islamic state like Turkey does not belong to Europe. All the values Europe stands for, freedom, democracy, human rights, are incompatible with Islam.
From breaking news, detailed analysis, in-depth interview.
So you heard him. Even with violence, and you'll start seeing that. And those countries that will subject to this free world that all everybody coexists together is gonna start pumping up, and you'll start seeing the countries being separated. Those that will be against Israel and those that will be not against Israel. And even though we know that all nations shall be against Israel, and many think that literally all nations shall be against Israel, but that's not what it means. It means that from all nations they will be hated. Zechariah chapter 12. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the peoples round about, when they shall be in a siege both against Judah and against Jerusalem. And in that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. All the people of the earth, we're talking about all the nations. That's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing the nations, and we're seeing the Islamic nations actually speaking words, fulfilling psalms. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. If you put all Islamic shows, that's what they say. When they say from the river to the sea, that's what they mean. No Jewish state, no Jews. Do you know that there are no Jews in Gaza? Do you know that all the Jews that lived in Gaza was forced to leave from Gaza? And they gave Gaza an opportunity to have their own nation and thrive. And what did they do? They made it worse with Hamas. Who is pretty much stealing the people of Palestine from their freedom, from resources, from a good life, using them as a bulletproof vest that sometimes the weapons can't penetrate and kill both civilian and terrorists. And if you see the videos, most of the terrorists, what are they wearing? They're not wearing military equipment, gear, or clothes. They're wearing casual clothes, Nikes, Adidas, that recognizable. So when they are killed, they will promote the lies that civilians were killed. But those are terrorists dressed in civilian clothes for that purpose and reason. Now, there are some claims that a Greek Orthodox church was destroyed and Christians were killed, and some Israelis are rejecting that, saying that it's a lie. Well, I'm a Greek Orthodox, and I can verify that the church was hit, not destroyed, but it was hit. Now we know, according to sources outside the church, they say that 18 Christians were killed. Out of the 20, 18 were Orthodox Christians. The church, although said that there was an attack that hit the church from Israel, they never confirmed how many deaths there are, or even if there are deaths. Now, those who say that there are 18 deaths
For us
can
to find
verify it.
God,
Israel attacked and destroyed the church in Gaza? Actually not. This is another lie of the Palestinians and Hamas. After they lied about the hospital, now they're trying to separate between Christians and Jews. So this is the story. Hamas decided to put their headquarters near to the church to use the Christian people as a human shield. The Israeli army destroyed the headquarters of Hamas over there. The church is still standing, and you can see it in this video. The truth is that Israel don't want to attack any holy place. Hamas thought that in this way they will attack the relationship between Christians and Jews, but it won't work because the truth is stronger than the lies. Please share with your Christian friends. It's very important that they will hear the truth. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, the church wasn't destroyed, as I said. Now, the other guy was in the heat of the moment, but the church did get some damage. And those that were on the first floor, on the bottom, they were killed. That's the reports that you gather. Now, there are some photographs of Orthodox mourning outside. There are some videos that show rubbles. Now, if it was officially from the church that gave an amount of civilians killed, I would accept it immediately. But since the church, the patriarch of Jerusalem said that the church was jet damaged by an airstrike that hit nearby, but doesn't mention deaths, until he does, I'm not going to believe it. If he does, that's another thing. Because media, right now, you can't even trust the media, what they are talking about. Because let's not kid ourselves. Every logical person, when Hamas attacked uh, the civilians on October 7th, knew that Israel will respond this way. Everybody knew it. And after Israel responded, now everybody's crying. And this reminds me of a video I saw on, earlier on a short, so I'll just play it because this is exactly what happened. But it's staged from behind for other reasons. But Israel and Hamas are no match. Like this short video. That's exactly what it is. Hamas barking, 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 barking. And once Israel does something, they disappear. And who gets damaged? Not Hamas, but the civilians. Or what about Iran and Hezbollah? Why don't Islamic countries take refugees? Because that's not their concern. Their concern is to take territories and move them outside into European countries, and then growing the population amongst those countries, gaining positions. And when they have the majority, may God protect that country. Because it's going to be a rude awakening. And I can tell this as a Greek I am, because my fellow Greeks were slaves of the Ottoman Empire for over 400 years. Any boy who had reached puberty and had hair, you know where, was killed. Every man was killed. Every elderly was killed. The only one that was not killed were the woman and the children. And if you're a woman or a girl, then you become their trophy, their sex slaves. And the little boys grow up to be in their army. And in reality, the Greeks were fighting the Greeks at one point, because the ones who were fighting against the Greeks were the boys that were stolen from the Greeks and raised under Turkish authority to fight against the Greeks. That's what they do. Of course, if you submit to them, you pay them like a good mob. They'll protect you, as they say, like a good mob. But if you don't, you're going to have to leave, even your own country, if they come. And if you don't want to leave, they're going to kill you. And they say it proudly, like it's something logical, which is something not logical. It doesn't make sense for somebody to come to a country, attack you, say that if you don't submit to me and my rules, you're going to kill you if you don't leave your own country. That's what they did in Damascus. And they actually said they will leave them. But after 3 days, they regret it. And then when they found them and killed them all. So when the Muslims say at Damascus that the Caliph was good, yeah, he wasn't good. He told them that he won't kill them, so he let them leave the country. And while they were leaving the country, after 3 days, he changed his mind and sent people after them, the army. And when they reached and catched up to them, they slaughtered them all, the Syrians. So don't listen to that bullshit. Many lies. There are some Muslims that are speaking the truth, saying that on the one side we have people who want to kill the Jews, and on the other side we have the Jews who don't want to be killed. And cease from existence. It has nothing to do with borders. It has to do with existence. And I know this is a touchy subject. That's why probably nobody came, but everybody's talking about Muslims and Jews. What about the Christian Palestinians who are being killed? Why isn't anybody talking about them? Why is it only Muslims and Jews? Because nobody really cares about human lives. All they cares about is their agenda. And those Muslims who try now to put the Christians, like, oh, even the Christians are being attacked by the Jews. Don't play it nice because we know that you persecute those same Christians. The Christians are getting it from both sides. And I stand with Christians, with Christ, not with Muslims, not with Jews. But I will stand with the nation of Israel. So I'm going to end it here because I have to go. Something came up. But I will speak again on this one day because a lot of fake news are in the media. So see you next time. God bless.